Hi guys, it's Lauren and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I have a special guest with me.
Hello.
This is my boyfriend. His name is John.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this video, we're doing, I guess it's like a relationship tag. We're just going to be answering basic questions about our relationship. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first one is how we met.
I think you can do this one.
It's a little awkward in my opinion. He was in a relationship with a girl I graduated with. She had posted on her Snapchat story a picture of the two of them. I think you guys were at like the beach or something. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I don't even remember.
And she had tagged him. And I've never done this before too, which is just like really weird. And I didn't expect anything to come out of it. I was thinking two things. One, okay, like it's someone I go to school with, like I don't know, why not? And then two, I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. But like not thinking anything was gonna happen. Then didn't you say you asked her if she knew me?
Yeah, and then she said yeah, so I added her back. Because I don't just add random people.
Yeah, he doesn't just add like random girls, but she said she knew me, so he added me back. And that's probably the last time she's ever doing that. They broke up. I think you texted me, because I don't text people first.
I don't know, that's debatable.
No, you definitely messaged me.
No, she posted something on her story to try to get my attention.
No, that was, no. You're missing a whole section. So he had texted me first, but at the time I was in a relationship. Because he and this girl were together for what, 9 months? 10-ish. So when I had added him, it was before, but then I had gotten into a relationship at one point. So when he had reached out to me after they broke up, I was in a relationship. But my boyfriend at the time didn't give me the time of day. He was constantly making excuses why he wasn't snapping me, and he went on vacation and snapped me like once the entire day. It was getting like kind of toxic, and so when he was texting me, I was like, oh, I'm actually getting attention. I didn't cheat on my boyfriend. I just want to make that clear. And he was like flirting, okay?
No.
Yes, you can't even deny it. You were hardcore flirting. You were like, oh my gosh, I love your dimples. The first picture he ever saved in the chat was of a picture, it was like half my face, and one of my dimples was showing, which my dimples only show if I'm in the correct position making a certain face, by the way. So he just kept on flirting with me, basically. And I don't really flirt with people, for starters, but I also like, I loved it, if I'm being honest. Like I said, my boyfriend at the time didn't give me the time of day. It was during Christmas, wasn't it? Because I was at my family's Christmas get-together when you and I first like really started having a conversation. And so we started getting to know each other by asking like the basic questions like, what's your favorite color? You know, what's your favorite food? And I had told him too that I had a boyfriend, by the way. I wasn't saying I didn't have a boyfriend. And it got to the point where he actually said, I feel like I shouldn't talk to you anymore because I don't want to ruin your relationship. So I was with that other boyfriend for only like 4 months. So it wasn't like super long, but I had broken up with him like a few months later. Once I was finally over that, because I don't do rebounds, I don't get into relationships super quickly. So when I broke up with him, I took a few months. I don't even know how long.
2, 3.
It was like 2 or 3 months. And like him and I, well, I feel like we've talked about this before. Like if we're in a relationship and you break up, we normally take about half the time that relationship was, if that makes sense, before trying to get into another relationship. So yeah, it was like 2 or 3 months, and then I saw he had posted, I think it was a gym picture on your story.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that guy still exists.
It was leg day. I added you to it, but it was probably just a couple months before you noticed.
Probably.
You were probably in a relationship or something.
Well, I also had so many people on Snapchat that I probably just never saw it. He posted on it the one day, and I remember sitting in my bed, and I'm like, oh, like this guy exists. So I post on my story, the classic HMU, and within 5 minutes.
It was not 5 minutes.
Yes, it was. I swear on everything. Within 5 minutes, I think you slid up on my story, and I was like, oh my gosh, because the only reason I posted that was so he would snap me. But I, being the classic teenage girl, was like, okay, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna take a shower, I'm gonna, you know, do my skincare, I'm gonna maybe clean up my room a little bit before I respond to him.
Which really didn't mean anything, because by the time I got home, that Like, I was driving, so I didn't really notice.
Yeah, but I really thought I was doing some. From there, I mean, we started talking, and he was like, well, don't you have a boyfriend? And I was like, no, not anymore, that ship has sailed. And then it started where he wanted to FaceTime, and I kept making excuses, and then he wanted to like see me in person, and I kept making excuses. I had such bad anxiety, I still do, but I had such bad anxiety, I didn't want anything to do with it. The first time we finally did FaceTime, I actually almost threw up. Like, I felt so sick. When we met for our first date, like, I thought I was gonna pass out. It was terrible. So, that is how we met. Alright, the next one is our first date. Do you wanna answer this one?
As we said, like, she was super nervous, so she kept like putting off when we were gonna have our first date. She kept saying, oh, I'm busy this week. I was like, it's literally summer, you have nothing going on. So once I finally just like kept being persistent, she finally gave in. She lives like 30 minutes away from me, so it has to be somewhere near her, or else like I don't want to be driving like 2 hours. So we did mini golf. I let her win that time, so.
No, you didn't. Yeah. We played again last summer, and I beat him again. So let's relax.
And then we went to an ice cream place afterwards.
Where I work.
Yeah.
We went to where I work because it was either that or Dairy Queen, and let's be honest, where I work is better in my opinion.
You can't outmilk the Dairy Queen.
Oh, yeah, you can, and we do. We were sitting on the bench eating our ice cream. I remember he like sat right next to me, and I was never a very physical person. Like, physical touch was never my love language because, once again, my anxiety was so bad, and my ex actually constantly wanted to like be all touchy and I just couldn't do it. It gave me the ick so bad. So then he comes over and he sits right next to me where our thighs are like touching, and he like kind of goes like this, like to put his hand like on my thigh. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like the first time I've had a guy like touch me like that where I like actually, okay, that sounds wrong. That was the first time I had a guy make a gesture like that I actually loved, and I literally go home and I'm texting Kizzy, I'm like, oh my god! And then another one of the questions is first kiss, so that's like part of our first date. We go back, and it was like a short first date. He drops me back off at home, and I like didn't want it to end, but like there was nothing else to do. And so we're in my dining room, and I'm like looking at him, we're hugging, and I've never been one to make the first move. But like, for some reason, I like go in for the kiss, but like he doesn't, but he goes, I think you just said, can I kiss you? Yeah. Like, he wanted permission, which I totally respect. But like, come on. I literally almost just shoved my face into you before you even got a chance to react.
Yeah.
Which is not like me, by the way. I was like, yeah, and then we kissed. So, which I've also never been one to kiss on the first date. But here we are. The next one is first impressions of each other, which is
kind of already went over it.
But
like first impressions of when you first started talking, or first impressions when you first like saw each other in person?
We'll do both.
Well, when we first started talking, like I have like super strict like guidelines that I follow when I have to like start talking to somebody, because like you invest in that person, because I date to marry. So like if they like smoke or like drink and party all the time, or like they have to act a certain way, or else I'm not gonna give them a time of day. So obviously, like, I already saw that in her, so I followed through with it. So I just thought she was a very mature and, like, respectful person. So I looked up to her a lot.
Which I didn't know at the time. But when we first started talking, you know, when I was in a relationship, let's say, I mean, I definitely thought he was attractive. I was like, damn, no way a guy this hot can think of me that way. And then for our first date, I was like, oh my gosh, this guy is even sexier in person.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
And I already thought, oh my gosh, he must be a gentleman, because he got out of his car like to say hi and everything. And like he took me, you know, back to the house and everything. Never held the car door open for me though. Okay,
the only reason why I can't hold a car door open is because my key fob doesn't work. And
he tried
it only locks from one side, so I have to go all the way to the driver's side to unlock it.
Our first date, you tried to open the door for me, but it was locked.
Yeah.
And so he pulls and it doesn't open. So I'm just standing there and he has to go around and unlock it. It was really funny.
Yeah, well, I obviously thought she was very beautiful when I first saw her in person.
Alright, the next one is, what is a weird habit the other person has?
She likes to pick at her fingers until they bleed sometimes when she's watching anything.
I pick at my toenails a lot too. That one is the one that drives Courtney crazy. It's just like an anxiety thing I do. I don't realize I'm doing it. A habit you have, it's not a weird habit. Oh. He literally clenches his jaw. Like, his entire, like, jaw just, yes. Like, I'm like, you gotta stop doing that. You'll be checking yourself out in the mirror too and you'll do it, yeah.
Going like this, I'm seeing if my hair is like right. But when I concentrate, I clench my jaw. It's kind of just like something that I do to keep my attention on whatever I'm looking at. Just like how one like bounces their leg up and down, I just clench my jaw over and over again.
Mine about you wasn't really a weird one. It's just the only habit I can think of. But you're a very weird individual. Don't get that twisted.
Oh.
Alright, the next one is how long we've been together. It'll be 2 years in May. Okay, the next one is the first thing we noticed about each other. Maybe we could do like online and in person, since we talked for quite a bit online first.
First impression as in appearance-wise, or like...
I mean, just whatever your first impression, I don't know.
I probably shouldn't say mine.
Why?
I don't know, like, obviously, like, when you look at someone, you're just like, oh, okay.
What?
I liked what I saw, that's all.
I liked your hair and your brown eyes, especially like at night, and you used the flash, and I was like, oh my gosh, you have such pretty brown eyes. And like, even to this day, like, the sun hits them a certain way, and it's just like so pretty.
Something that I always told her that I liked about her were her eyes as well. Like, I remember snapping her all the time saying that her eyes were super pretty, her smile was super pretty. But I also, like, obviously, like, the dimple thing. That was, like, another thing. Like, I kept saying, oh, your dimple's so cute.
Which
like,
you never notice anymore, by the way.
Which I can't really tell in person, but sometimes when she does send, like, a snap certain type of way, you can see it. But
yeah. That's why, like, I'm always like, oh, look at my dimples. And people are like, you don't have dimples. And it kind of hurts my ego a little bit.
Yeah, I just thought she was always a very beautiful and pretty individual.
In person for me, I remember the first thing I noticed right off the bat was just how tall you were.
The first thing I noticed when we first saw each other, like, you were very small.
The next one kind of ties in with the other ones, but what is your favorite feature about me and then vice versa?
Okay, I think we should do mentally and then physically. So you can go first.
Okay. Oh, okay. Physically, his muscles, like his arms, sexy. That's my favorite physical feature. I don't know, like, it's nice that you and I are so similar in like everything. You have the same love with animals as I do. You and I are also the same, as in we don't sleep around. We don't...
Well, I'd hope so, because we're in a relationship.
No, but I'm saying even beforehand.
I think she means we have the same morals.
Yes, yes.
I think my favorite physical feature is definitely like this area. And then also the thighs. The thighs are really nice. Like her eyes, especially when she wears glasses. I love when she wears glasses. Emotionally / like mentally, she's very, okay, this can be like a bad thing and a good thing at the same time. She's very persistent with what she wants to do. So like, yeah, it's a good thing when she's determined and wants to get something done, she gets it done. But then she can also be super stubborn, which kind of bites me in the ass sometimes. But it's still very nice feature to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who said I love you first? It was you.
I don't think it was.
It was. I remember what happened. You had made like little comments and little hints that you wanted to say it, even though it had only been like 2 months into our relationship.
I waited till at least 3 months. So.
Okay, well, either way. It's only been like 3 months into a relationship, and I remember he was like subtly giving hints, and then he was like, I want to say it, but I don't want to say it over the phone. Like, I want to say it in person at first. And then there was one time on Snapchat, he sent me like a whole paragraph. He was like, okay, I just can't wait anymore. I just love you so much. And I was like, oh, we're just jumping right into it. But I mean, I felt the same way. So of course I was like, oh, I love you too. Yeah. So he said it first. Okay, cat or dog people?
I'm more of a dog person, but I don't mind her cat. Like her cat is fine. But usually like, it's only because her cat acts like a dog.
I'm probably more of a cat person, only because since I became an owner of cats, I just noticed how much more independent they are and how they don't need your attention all the time. Obviously, I'm still a dog person too. I've always stood by the fact that I was both, but I think I just bond more with cats, if that makes sense. Like, now I have 2 cats at my mom's, 2 at my dad's. No dogs at this point. But like he said, one of my cats literally acts like a dog. Like, you can do literally whatever you want to him. The 2 of them have bonded. Like, he was never a cat person. He's we've really only had dogs.
You can probably cut to a me bouncing around Milo montage at this point.
Yeah, I might add a few of those in there. Didn't you tell me you were like allergic to cats? Like a little bit?
I thought I was.
The first thing he does when he walks in the door is scoop him up. So they have a bond like no other.
Little cat baby. Little monkey. Little baby rager. Oh.
He's enjoying life right now. Passion, more energy, more passion. More energy, more passion.
All right, the next one is the age difference between the two of us. So my birthday is June 19th, 04.
And mine's November 22nd, 02. So it's a year and a half.
Yeah, it's about a year and a half difference. I look very young. I'm told I look like I'm 12. And he, I feel like, looks his age for the most part.
It depends on if I shave or not, but she makes me shave all the time. If I shave, I look like I'm the teenager still.
And I like it.
Let's pause there. She just said she likes it. Teenager look.
No.
So that's kind of a pedophile there.
No. He'll grow out his facial hair a little more than this sometimes. A lot of times. People in public are probably like, oh, look at the dad and her daughter. And that's not okay. And I've also gotten into arguments with people saying 19 and 21 is a crazy age difference. The next one is how we spend our time together.
There's a lot. I feel like.
Depending on the day.
I'm at college and I work when I'm off, so a lot of times we see each other on the weekends, so it's a lot of either going to a mall or just like doing random stuff that we have to get done, and we just do it together, or we just like we'll just sit there and like binge watch TV shows.
Yeah, Catfish. I got him into Criminal Minds. Well, those are the two main ones. The last one is our future plans. I figured this is a good one to cover.
I graduate next year in spring. So I think we're gonna plan to move out that summer and get our own apartment. So I think that's like the near future.
We've already looked at a few apartments, and there's one apartment complex in particular that we both absolutely love so far. When it gets closer to the time he'll graduate, we'll get like a tour of that, see if it's something we really want to do. And then the other day we went to like one of those at-home stores and looked at a bunch of stuff there to see like what style we want, the different themes we might want to go with, just like stuff like that. We want to get a black puppy. Don't know when, but I just wanted to put that out there. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So those are all the questions I have for today about our relationship. If you guys have any other things you want to know, just comment down below. Maybe I'll make a part 2. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you disliked it, give it a thumbs down. I don't really care. Subscribe if you're new. Comment down below videos you would like to see next. Bye!